Okay, so for this question, it's really simple. So the points are 9 and 11. And to find the point they're looking for, P prime, they're telling you what to do. They're telling you add 3 to x and minus 4 from y. So 9 plus 3 equals 11 minus 4, which is 9 plus 3 is 12. 11 plus 4 is 7. And that's literally your answer. Okay, for this question, it's also fairly simple. You should know all of these. So like for example, this question is going from kg to grams, so kilograms to grams. You divide by 1,000. So dividing by 1,000, 600 divided by 1,000, you get 0.6. And then the other ones from centimeter to millimeter, you multiply by 100 and you get 80. And then the other one, you divide by 1,000, you get 0.04. It's as simple as that. You just need to know how to convert. Okay, so here they're telling you 1 gallon is 3.78 liters. So 1 liter, you divide by 3.78 to get to gallons. Okay, so 567 divided by 3.78. If I do it on my calculator, I'm gonna do it on my calculator. 567 divided by 3.78, you get 150, and that's your answer. Okay, for the second part, they said 1 gallon is 3.7 liters, so 20 times 3.78, you get 75.6. Okay, they're very simple, these ones. Here it's also very simple, except for the Fahrenheit one. Okay, so let's do it. They're telling you the temperature outside is minus 15 degrees Celsius, and the temperature inside is 25 degrees Celsius, higher than outside. The temperature inside is, so it's minus 15 plus 25, because they said more higher, so plus. So, and then you get common math. This is very simple math. You get 10 degrees Celsius. Now this is where the hard part comes. Turning degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit is very complicated. But let's just do it together. Now I'll give you the rule and then we'll fill in the numbers. So the rule to get Celsius to Fahrenheit is, first thing, brackets, in between brackets, degrees Celsius, so like the number of degrees, it was in Celsius, times 9/5 plus 32. Okay, so now let's fill in our empty spot, which is only the C. So we got 10 degrees Celsius, so 10 times 9/5 plus 32. Do it on your calculator or just common sense, just cancel. This becomes 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 32 is 50. So 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like we've never learned it, that's why it might be hard for some, but it's very easy. Now, for the second question, they want, it's an arithmetic sequence, and they want the 30th term. Okay, arithmetic sequence, we know the rule for it is A1 plus n minus 1 d. Okay, A1 is the first term, n is the term they want, and d is the common difference. First term is minus 6, like they told us, and then the nth term is 30. Let's just, 30 minus 1 is 29, so let's just simplify it for ourselves and just write 29. It's 29, and then it's plus 29 plus 29. And then our D is 8. Do it on your calculator. You get 81. Done done. Now, the second part, the third one, is we did this rule, I think, question number 1. Yeah. So it's n over 2, 2a1 plus n minus 1 d. Okay? N is 30 over 2, which is 15. And then this first term is minus 6. N minus 1 is 29, like we said. And D is 3. Now, all of this on your calculator, you get 1,125. Now, second question or third, whatever. Okay, here they want us to complete the sequence. Let's see what the sequence is. First thing, we minus, and then we'll see if it's an additive sequence or like a minus sequence or whatever sequence it is. Okay, so 25 till 28, it's 3. 28 till 31 is also 3, and 31 till 34 is also plus 3. So the sequence is plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So when we find out our sequence, we just do plus 3 to find our answer. So 34 plus 3 is 37. Okay, so here there's a new style of question, but we went over it a bit in term 2. Okay, so whenever they give you I and K, K always stands for, whenever you see K in math, it's always the scale factor. Whatever, I'm not gonna spell it out, okay? I'm gonna call it S F. Okay? And the I is the coordinates A and B. A and B. Okay? So now to find these coordinates, we're gonna make X and Y into X prime and Y prime. Okay? So that we understood. Now to find that X prime and Y prime, we have two different rules. The first rule for the X prime is K, which is the scale factor, which we don't need to find because they already gave it to us. K times X plus 1 minus K times A. And then the other one is K Y plus 1 minus K B. So literally the only difference is K and X and Y. Okay, so let's find X first. Okay, so here X is X prime. Okay, K, which is 2, times 3, because here this is our I, which is the A and B, but this is their actual image. Okay, so 2 times 3 plus 1 minus 2, because that's our K, and then our A is 0 for the X coordinate. Okay, so it's only 2 times 3, because when you multiply anything by 0, it becomes 0. So the first one is 6. Now for the second one, the Y prime, it's the same thing. So 2 times, but the only difference is this is 1. So 2 times 1 plus 1 minus 2 times -4. Do that on your calculator and you get 6 also, and that's your coordinates. Okay, on to the next question. This is getting easy, okay? Let me tell you something. Whenever they say scale factor, you multiply it. Whenever they say translation, you add. Okay, that's what I give as notes, okay? So they're telling you the scale factor is 2. So you multiply both coordinates by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. And minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. As simple as that. And then you take these coordinates, you forget about this completely. you take these. 4 plus 1 is 5, and minus 6, 5 plus minus 6, or minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1, and that's it. Okay, for this question, first thing we're gonna find the scale factor, and then we're gonna apply the dilation rule. The dilation rule is the one I showed you, the y prime and x prime. Okay, so first thing, whenever you want to find a scale factor, you have to have always two objects, okay, or whatever shapes, whatever, and find a similar side and see the length. So for example, here it's 6 and 2, okay, and here it's 8 and 0. So we put the smaller on top of the bigger, okay? So, or because I think they told us KLM is the image of ABC. So whenever it's the image of something, that's why we put on top, okay? So 6 minus 2 over 8 minus 0, and you get 4 over 8, which is 0.5 simplified. Now that's the first part. Now the second part, we have to find the coordinates of the center of the dilation. So we want to find x prime and y prime. So the rule for x first is k times, I'm just gonna put dots so you don't confuse the times by the x, times x plus 1 minus k, and then a. Okay, so let's do it. X we need to find, or no, we have x and we need to find our y. Actually, what we're looking for is the a and the b, not the x prime and the y prime, because our xy and our y prime is the image and the AB. Okay, for example, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so whenever we're looking for the x prime and the y prime, that's when we already have the coordinates of the dilation. What I mean by the coordinates of the dilation is the a and the b, okay? So here they're telling us the KLM is the image of ABC under dilation. Dilation, whatever, the same thing. That means that KLM is the same image as ABC, but it's after it got dilated, okay? So that's our y prime and x prime, and this is our x and y, the normal ones, okay? Now let's take any point out of the two. I'll take a and k, okay? Wait, I'll take a and k. A is at 6, 0, and k is at minus 4, 2. Okay, I'll take these points now. Now let's solve that one. So x prime, which is minus 4, equal to k, which is 0.5, times x, which is 6, because like we said, it's times the normal, the normal one, 6, plus 1 minus 0.5, and then we want to find the a. 0.5 times 6 is 3. So our equation is this: 3 plus 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. Just let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so plus 0.5 a, we move 3 to the other side, becomes minus 7 equals 0.5 a, and minus 7 divided by 0.5 is equal to minus 14. So now we found our A, which is our x, okay? So our first answer is minus 14. Now let's find the y. The same rule, y prime is equal to k times y plus 1 minus 0.5, which is our k, and times b, which we want to find the b. So our y prime is 2. So 2 equal to k, which is 0.5, times 0. So we just cancel it out, but let's just not do that now. And then plus 0.5b, you get 2 equals 0.5b. 2 divided by 0.5 is 4. So b equals 4. So a and b is minus 14 and okay, whenever we want to find the range, because they're asking for the range here, okay? Whenever we want to find the range, we take our number, which here, let me change the color, is 2.17, okay? We put a 0 at the end of that number, and then we put a 0 beside the number so we can put the 5. And then this is our base. We always do this. And then we fill the left side with the amount of zeros we need, and we put the decimal point where the decimal point is. Okay, and then we minus or we add. We have to do both. We have to minus and we have to add. Okay, but remember, you always put a 0 at the end of the number, and then you put a 5 beside the 0 on the right side. And then we keep putting zeros on the left. When you do that, you get 2.165 and 2.175. Okay? So, or you don't even need to do all that, just whatever the number here is, because that's our largest possible difference, that's the one you have to put when they're asking for the largest possible difference, okay? That's what you have to put. You don't even have to do the minus and the plus. I'll show you when you need to do that. Okay, the next question is like literally my favorite question because it's one of the easiest questions in the whole quiz. You're asking for the number of significant figures, okay? So you just count the number of numbers in there. But let me tell you, if they give us a 0.0657, for example, okay? The zeros to the left of the number do not count. So these are not significant figures. Whenever we start a number, that's when it's a significant figure. But if it's like 0.0670, this 0 on the left counts, okay? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the number of significant figures because it's on the zeros are on the left and they're not on the right. That's literally it. This is also very easy. These questions are easy. Now they're telling you to round to the nearest gram. What they mean by the nearest gram is so you don't have any decimal points. So we only take the number and the first decimal. So 66.4. 4 is less than 5. So it's from 0 to 5, you round down. And from 5 to 9, you round up, okay? So this is below 5, so you round down, so it's 66. Okay, this is the arithmetic sequence, which is very easy. And they want the sum, okay? So it's n over 2a1 plus 1 minus n, 1 minus n d. So 20 over 2. First term is minus 4 plus 1 minus 20. Sorry, it's It's n minus 1. It's not, it's n minus 1. So it's 20 minus 20. And then the difference is 2. And doing all that on your calculator, you get 300. Okay, this one, it's really confusing, but you'll get it, okay? So, from 2 to 4, you add by 2. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then you take 4 and add it to 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. And then you take these two. So 6 plus 4 equals to 10. And then you take these two. So 6 plus 10 is equal to 16. And then you take these two. So 10 plus 16. And you get your second, or whatever number they want us. And you keep going. So 16 plus 26 is the one after. And then 26 plus the one we got is the number after it. Okay? It's just pause the video and understand what I mean. Okay, here, let's look at the difference. 248. It's obviously not a minus, because you can't do all that, okay? So it might be a division. So we divide 248 by 124. 248 divided by 124. You get 2. So you're dividing by 2 each time. So let's check. 124 divided by 2. You get 62. So what we got, the sequence, is divide by 2. So 62 divided by 2, you get 31. 25 now. This is so easy. You should all get this. I think, yeah, this is the same one I explained before the other question. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3, because we used the number before it, 6 plus 3 is 9. And then 6 plus 9, so 6 plus 9 equals 15. So 9 plus 15 equals 24. And that's your answer. Okay, they want the correct, what is the number of significant figures. Now, like I said, zeros here do not count, so cancel them out of your brain. Just count the zeros or whatever after the first digit, okay? So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 significant figures. But if they ask for decimal places, you count all the zeros after the decimal, okay? Because we're gonna have a question like that. I even got confused by it, and I'll tell you why when we reach it. Now for this question, they're telling us to round to the nearest centigram, okay? What they mean by centigram is a it's, so 66.4, let me write it first, 4764. Nearest centigram is two digits after the dot, after the decimal point, okay? So in general, when you're going from grams to centigrams, I think that's how you write it, you would multiply by 100. So it's gonna be 2 zeros whenever you go by the amount of zeros. So here we have 2 zeros, so we go by the amount of 0, okay? So it's 66.47, and then 6 is greater than 5, so you round up, so it's 48. And that's your answer. Now 28 is, I think, the same thing but to the nearest milligram, yeah. Okay, so going from gram to milligram, you multiply by 1,000, so we have 3 zeros. That means 66.4764 is to 3 zeros, so it's 3 digits, so it's 66.476, and 4 is lower than 5, so the number stays the same, it rounds down, it doesn't round up. So that's your answer. Now 29, we're almost there, 10 more places. Okay, this is the one I told you I got confused by, okay? Here they're saying to 3 decimal places and not to 3 significant figures. So you still count the 0 before the 2, okay? So 0, but the 0 before the decimal point does not count, okay? So 0.021, and that's 3 decimal places. It's 2 significant figures, but it's 3 decimal places, okay? Decimal places and significant figures are 2 different things. Decimal places, you don't care if the 0 is on the left or on the right, but significant figures, you do, okay? That's literally the only difference. Okay, here they're also asking for how many here they're asking for significant figures and not for decimal places. So like I said, these zeros do not count, forget about them, and count only these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your answer. Now 31. Okay, here is the one where you add and whatever. Okay, yeah, let's start. So the first part, it's 79. So you put 0 and then you add a 0, so you can put the 5 and then you keep another 0. So this is minus, and we'll put here a plus. If you don't get what I mean and you're in the grade 9 big group, just go to the file I sent on that big group and go to the last page, and there it will explain to you why I did this, okay? Because if you didn't get what I meant by now, I don't think you're gonna get it. So 70, when you minus it, you get 78.5, and here you get 79.5, and that's the range you have. And this is what I mean by range, okay? And now when you want to find the minimum possible value, you just take the smaller one. So it's 77.85. Or no, sorry. You do a whole different thing, okay? Badal ma you put, like, you know, for when we want to find the range, we put the 0 to the last one. No, okay, so they want the minimum possible value for the width, okay? And when you want to find the area of a rectangle, you do length times width is the area, okay? Here they're telling you the area is 79. So 79 is equal to the length. They told you it's 10. So 10 times W, we want to find W. So we move 10 to the other side, we get W is equal to 7.9. So that's the number we use for our range, okay? So 7.9, like I said, you put a 0 to the last digit and then you add a 0 here. You put 5 dot, because you always put the decimal where the decimal place is, 0 minus, and here you do the plus 0.05 plus, okay? You get 7.95 and 7.85. They're asking for the minimum, so the lowest one out of the two. So the answer is 7.85. Okay? A lot of people might get confused with this question, so redo it over and over again until it gets stuck in your head, because like you saw, I literally got confused in the last one. Okay, this is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So 5, so we put 0 and then a decimal point. You put 0 here and you put 5 here. Minus, and then 5, 0. Sometimes when they ask for the minimum, you don't really need to do the plus, because we know that the minus is going to get you the minimum value. And when they ask for the maximum, you don't need to do the minus, because you know that the plus is going to get you the maximum value. You know what I mean? So 5.0 minus 0.5, you get 4.5. And that's your answer. That's literally as simple as it gets. Okay, here. They're asking for the scale factor. What did I say about the scale factor? You multiply, and translation, you add. Okay, so minus 2 times 3 is minus 6, and then 3 times 3 is 9. Now we take this one and we go to translation. Minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. 9 plus 4 is 13. And that's literally as easy as it is. Now for this one, okay, here we use the equation because they're telling you it's a line of y minus 1. So we use the equation of y. You remember the scale factor one? It's a bit different because we don't have a scale factor here, okay? The only difference is we call it a, okay, prime. Don't know why, but that's what we call it. And it's equal to a, which is, remember when we said a is x, b is y, and d is also y, and then c is x, okay? I'm just gonna write it here so you remember. So x is a and c, and y is b and d, okay? Just let's remember that together. And then let's complete the equation. Minus b plus 2 plus 2d, okay? Now let's put everything together. So we want first thing m prime, okay? So we use the a of the x of m, which is 3, so we keep it the same, and then the y, which is 1, so it's minus 1 because it's minus b, plus 2. Okay, let me explain again because I did a mistake this time. The d is the line y, it's not y from the coordinates, okay? I said it wrong when I was writing it here, okay? D is whenever they tell you y equals or x equals, d and c are that number here, okay? So it's minus 1, okay? So minus 1 minus 2 is 3 minus 3. So m prime is 3 minus 3. It's very simple. I think I confused you guys, so let's do the other one with no confusion. So let's write our equation again. So a comma minus b plus 2d. That's our equation. Now we want to do n prime, okay? So the y stays the x stays the same. The y just becomes 1 because it's negative 1, so it's negative and negative make a positive. So 1 plus 2 minus 1s, so it's minus 2 and minus 1. I don't think I confused it this time. Now, let's write the rule again. Okay, so our x stays the same, so it's 2, and then minus 0, I guess, plus 2 minus 1, you get 2 and minus 2. That's as easy as it is. I know I complicated it a bit, I confused you guys, I confused myself, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, for this question, whenever they tell you they want the pre-image of whatever coordinates under a rotation about the origin of 270 counterclockwise, it's always, let's start with the coordinates x, y, okay? So x, y, it becomes minus y, x, okay? So here, our coordinates are 3 and 5. They become minus 5 and 3. And that's your answer. Now, 36. Okay, for this question, there's 2 things you need to do. First thing, they said it's under the rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. Whenever they say 90 degrees clockwise, you do. First, let's start with the coordinates x and y, like I said. It becomes y minus x, okay? So First, let's shift all the points A, B, C. So A becomes, here it's here the points are -3 and -3 and 1. It becomes, because we move the y to the x place, so 1, and then minus x, so minus 3 is 3, so 1 and 3. So that's our A. Okay, now let's do B. B is in the coordinate -3 and 4, so it becomes 4 and 3. Okay, and now I'll do C here. C will is on the coordinate -1 and 4, so it becomes 4 and 1. Okay, we found our coordinates. Now these are the coordinates we use. We don't use any other. Now let's start with A. Here they're telling you it's a reflection of y equals -1. So we use the -1 rule. So it's the y rule, sorry. So it's A and then minus B plus 2D. Okay, so for A we said the coordinates are 1 and 3. So 1 stays the same, and then B is, like I said, the y, so 3, plus 2, the line of y, which is -1. We do it on our calculator. All of this, you get 1 and 5. So that's your coordinate for A. So you go to 1 and 5 and you press it. It's one of these. Now you know how to find it. I'm pretty sure. We're not KG ones to not know. Now the line for B, we found the coordinates for B, we found it's 4 and 3. We do the same thing. 4 stays the same. -3 plus 2 -1. You also get 5. So 4 and 5 are your coordinates for this one. And then C over here, we know that the coordinates are 4, 1. 4 stays the same. 1 becomes -1 plus 2 -1. You get 4 -3. These are all of your points. Okay. Now 37. We're almost there. 2 more left. Fill in the back. Okay. From meter, I'm gonna get a different color because I got the press from this one. From meter to centimeters times 100, so 0.2 times 100 is 20. From liters to milliliter, it's times 1,000, so 5 times 1,000 is 5,000. And then from millimeters to meters, it's divide by 1,000. Okay, so 30 divided by 1,000 is 0.03. That's that question. One more question left, which is the last question. Okay, this one's easy. Okay, so here they're showing you a table for the exchange rates from US dollars to whatever one of these countries. Okay, so let's do this. They're telling you $320 and they want them in Canadian dollars. So they're telling you Canadian dollars is 1.30 of a US dollar. So 320 times 1.30, you get 416. And here they're telling you European pounds, I think, European euros, whatever. I don't really know in money. Euros 360. I'll just call it euros, by the way. 316 euros is 0.79. So 1 US dollar is 0.79 euros. So 316 euros divided by 0.79 is $400. Okay. Now, second part. 158 euros. 158 divided by 0.79. 200 is 200. Okay, so here they want it in UK dollar, UK euro. I really do not know what these signs are. Okay, so if they want it in that, first we change it to dollars and then we multiply by whatever you need to multiply to get it to UK, whatever UK. Okay, so 200, now we found that it's 158 euros. $2 is $200. Now answer times 0.59, because that's how much you get in Great Britain, euros, I guess, is 118, whatever that sign is. Okay, now the last one is we have the Great Britain one. We have to change it to euros first, $2 first. So 354 divided by 0.59, you get 600, and then 600 times 125 yen, you get 75,000, and that's your answer. And that's all the AMS quiz done. I'm very, very, very sorry if I offended any of you by not knowing what these signs are. Okay, but good luck in your exam tomorrow.